Hello and welcome to Random Things. My name is Ty and I'm here today to discuss with you what I believe is the most important thing when you're in the market to buy an e-bike. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know that I've been working on a series of reviews for various folding e-bikes, and they range from $299 to $1099, and these are all folding e-bikes. Now, in the process of developing the reviews and creating the content, I realized that I haven't shared with you what I think is actually the most important thing. So this is how I would break it down. If you're in a market to buy an e-bike, you really should ask yourself three fundamental questions. One is, how far do you want to go? Two is, how fast do you want to go? And three is, do you need it to be compact? Do you need it to fold so that you can store and transport it? Or do you don't care and you want to go wild with it? If you answer those three questions, it will help you decide what category of bike you need. So for example, if you don't care about going very far or going very fast and you're just kind of riding around the neighborhood, then you're looking for a pretty simple bike, probably a 250 to 300 watt motor, 36 volt, less than 7 amp hour battery, right? And you're in the $300 to $500 range. If you want to go a little further, 30 miles, still at 16 miles an hour, then you're looking at maybe $500 to $600. Now, if you want to go above 20 miles an hour, then you're looking at something that's probably in the 48 volt, 500 to 750 watt type of motor. Okay, and that's going to dictate that category of bike, and that's going to be somewhere around $1,000. Once you decide which category of bike you want, you can start looking at the electric, the Jupiter, whole bunch of the Rad, whole bunch of other brands out there. But in the end, they're all about the same. So what is the most important thing? Well, in my humble opinion, the most important thing is the warranty. Let's face it, you're about to drop quite a bit of money, at least what you think is quite a bit of money for a bike. Now, I grew up buying relatively inexpensive bikes, bikes in the $200 to $300 range. So dropping $1,000 on a bike, well, that creates some anxiety. And additionally, when you're talking about an e-bike, now you're talking about an aspect of a bicycle that you may not know how to repair and not have a lot of control over. And just judging by how we would go through cell phones, especially with the battery, it's natural to have anxiety about the bike. Because again, you're dropping $1,000. What happens in 90 days, 6 months, 1 year, and your batteries start to go? What then? So what I've learned is, in order to combat that anxiety, what's important is buying it from a manufacturer that provides you with good customer service, but more importantly, an amazing return policy. In my case, I choose to buy my bicycles from Costco. Now, if you want to compare the two bikes that I have, one of them is the electric XP step through, and you have to buy that directly from the manufacturer, and that's $899, versus the Jupiter Defiant, which I bought through Costco, was $1099. They're all relatively the same performance, 25 top speed, around 40 miles range in pedal assist 1, and same body size, 20-inch wheels, 4-inch tires. They're all about the same. But here's the big difference. Now, although the XP is a couple $100 cheaper, the return policy from electric is not quite as generous. They have great customer service, don't get me wrong. But the return policy is not as generous. So what happens is, once you pass your warranty window, right, what are you gonna do if you run into problems, right? At some point, the manufacturer is gonna say, well, you know what? You're out of warranty, so you really need to just buy a new battery or get a new motor. And depending on what it is, you might be okay with it. It might be a reasonable cost, like buying new brake pads. But some of it may not be reasonable to you. It's almost worth just junking it and buying a whole new bike. So at that point, that's really when you get frustrated because you dropped $1,000 on this bike. So for me, because I buy my bike through Costco, Costco warranties the bike like any other merchandise. Now, so far what I can tell from the website, and I encourage you to read the return policy, they don't categorize the e-bikes like an electronic, like a TV. If you buy it for TV from Costco, it's only got a 90-day warranty, right? So within 90 days, you can always return to Costco, no matter what. But after 90 days, you're on your own. But the e-bike is what they categorize as all other merchandise, right? In that case, it's got a lifetime warranty. So if something happens to your e-bike where you worked with the manufacturer, you did your due diligence, and you did your best to get it working, and it's just not repairable, you can take it back to Costco and get your money back. Go figure. Get your entire money back, including the tax. Now, I don't want you to go out and screw it up for everybody, right? I want you to be honest, do your due diligence, make the best effort, work with the manufacturer, try to get the bike repaired, try to repair and replace reasonable, expendable parts. But if the bike just completely fails and you can't get a resolution from the manufacturer, Costco is great. And you might say, well, gee, Ty, why are you doing that to Costco? Costco is gonna eat it. Well, I don't know this for sure, but I don't think Costco is gonna eat anything. I think what happens is when a manufacturer wants to sell an item on Costco, Costco basically say, fine, if you want to sell something with me, you gotta warranty it, no matter what. So if a customer brings it back to me, I'm just gonna send it back to you, right? You deal with it. The manufacturer's like, well, they can turn back for all kinds of things. That's not reasonable. True, but guess what? If you sell your product at Costco, you will get the volume and make up for it. So that's the trade-off. So I think the manufacturers kind of make that trade-off and they make the decision, you know what? I'm willing to warranty it. My bike is of good quality, or my product is of good quality. In this case, I'm talking about bikes. My product is of good quality, so I stand behind it. And let's face it, truth be told, most of you won't have the guts to return it after a couple years. You'll feel ashamed because you'll be like, I did, kind of ride this off a cliff. In that case, you really shouldn't return it if you was negligent. But again, if it's legit, right? That's what's great about Costco. You can return it. And so you don't have to have the anxiety of, hey, did I just drop $1,000 and now it's just flushed down the toilet? Again, that's the greatest thing about buying it from Costco versus, say, buying it directly from the manufacturer. Now, I want to be very clear again. I am not poo-pooing any manufacturer or any other retailer. They may have excellent customer service and excellent return policies. I'm not familiar with everybody's return policy, and I'm not familiar with everybody's customer service. I'm just familiar with Costco's customer service because I've done my own share of returning things. So in the end, I think once you decide those 3 questions, you can go to Costco's website and pick out a bike, right? And you can say, well, this has this kind of shifter and it's a little different than this bike shifter. Look, for the average guy like me, I'm not going to be able to tell the difference. I cannot tell the difference between one brake versus another brake manufacturer. Okay, they're both disc brakes. They're going to stop the bike. That's all I care. Does it stop? Does it go? And in my case, what's most important is if push comes to shove and I can't get a resolution on my bike, can I return the sucker and get my $1,000 back? That is what I think is the most important thing. So, at the risk of putting this out before I finish all the reviews, I hope that you will still continue to subscribe to my channel and watch the reviews, because I do go through the various aspects of the bikes that I think may provide additional insight. For example, how far can I run the Jupiter Defiant at top speed before I run out of batteries? And then what happens after that? Or am I able to take the Jetson Bolt down a steep hill and go 25, 30 miles an hour? Or is that thing gonna get some serious speed wobbles, and I'm gonna kill myself? Those are all in the details of the various reviews. And I ask you to subscribe and watch those reviews to learn more about the various bikes, just so that you can get a better understanding. But I share with you in advance what I think is the most important thing. Once you figure that out, then the reviews that I put on the various bikes will only add to that. So with that, I hope you liked what I shared with you today. I hope you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And please comment. I welcome constructive feedback. And lastly, you can also comment to talk about what you want me to look into for the various bikes if I haven't answered your question directly. I'm trying to read all the comments. I don't get a lot, so I don't check very often. But if you comment, I promise you I will get to it eventually, and I will try to answer your question. Either reply to you directly, or I will add it to my next post where I review the actual aspect that you have a question about. Like, how does it fold with all the different accessories attached to it? Or do I need to remove the accessories before I can fold it? That came from one of the followers, one of the subscribers. I thought it was a great question, so I was going to do a review on that. So with that, thank you again for watching, and until next time, cheers.